recording.
Everybody's gonna say got it. Got it, got it. Okay, hey. Wonderful, wonderful. There's nothing like seeing smiley faces and being connected to something that is in its inception. It's been a bit of a struggle getting everybody onto a call. We got to sort that out because it's so critical to the future of each and every one of you as individuals. I've been through this. I can't tell you how many times building a team from zero. I've done it in multiple countries. I've done it in multiple languages, and I know what it takes. The thing that it takes is a collective. It takes a team. It takes achieving what's called critical mass. We're not there yet. Critical mass is when you have enough like-minded people thinking the same way and collaborating so that you're not a lone ranger. You're not out there by yourself trying to do this, but you feel like you're the leading edge of the wedge. You're just on the front end. You're the tip of the spear, but behind you is this resource, this team that's cheering you on. Even though they may not be in that meeting or on that call with you at that moment, you know that you've got your posse with you and they're on the same page as you, and they want the best for you. And so when you have that going for you, you become unstoppable, 10 feet tall, and it makes all the difference in the world as to how you approach life, how you approach your contacts, the day-to-day stuff that sometimes can be, dreary, but you will have the resource and the motivation to get up and do it.
I actually heard, just to stop you, I just had a quote. I heard a quote today that said, if your vision requires no help from anyone else, it's not big enough.
Yeah. And so the vision for this group right now consists of mainly individuals. I've asked you to do some homework. Some of you have, some of you haven't. And that was to write me specifically these income objectives and to give context and perspective to that as to where you're at right now in life financially, because it really requires us to be real. And I'm going to be dealing with you individually on a one-on-one basis concerning that, because it's really, really important. I know how the law of attraction works. I know how the limiting beliefs work, and I know that they're absolutely working for a bunch of people right now. And so the thing that is my role in your development is to help you overcome or short circuit or bypass, give you life hacks in terms of mind hacks, how to get around the belief system that's operating against you. So one of the things that I've learned early on is if a person raises the bar too high for themselves, then the subconscious mind is talking to them all the time saying, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. And it will become a self-defeating proposition. You will find yourself lacking motivation. You won't do the necessary things. And of course, it will become a self-fulfilling prophecy. So one of the things that I have to help you do is actually manage your expectations. That's probably the single most important thing that I get to do, is help you set and achieve goals that are within a sufficient range of your optimism, but yet at the same time, your belief system. Otherwise, you will undermine your own success. So that's a technique I've learned over the years, because I've experienced it in so many different ways with people. If they set their expectations too low, again, they lack the ambition, the motivation to actually get anything done. So nothing gets done and nothing happens. If they set them too high, then their subconscious mind kicks in and defeats them that way. So it's somewhere in that sweet spot. And so we stretch the elastic band at that point, and then we achieve. Then we stretch the elastic band again, and then we achieve. And then we stretch the elastic band again, and then we achieve. And when you look back over that window of time, which is why I gave you a 3-month, 1 year, and a 3-year objective, then you're going to see the growth that takes place. Hopefully, you're going to get to where I'm at, where you're comfortable with the income that you're making, but it'll be considerably more than where you're at right now, which is where you're comfortable right now. That's how that works. You've created and attracted exactly who you are. So it's stretching that elastic. Anyway, I want to mention that because I think what's not getting conveyed sufficiently well enough is the importance of a team call. There's an agenda that we have to put in place now that Sophia, Savannah, and Elena, all three of them are silver. And congratulations to Elena and Savannah, who just crossed silver in the last few days.
Woo!
You know what's happening right now, guys, in my world, in the Nikken world, this young group here is moving mountains as far as the folks are concerned on my end of the spectrum. So there's a lot of attention on this. There's a lot of a spotlight here. Everybody's wondering, who are these guys? What are they doing? And how are they doing it so fast? And yet I come from a generation where when I was launching my business, when I was helping crack new markets, breaking silvers was something you did with your eyes closed. So it has to become the norm. It will be the new norm for this team for sure, is helping people become, you guys are going to become what I call silver factories. You're going to be manufacturing silvers. That's your job, but you're not there yet. The silvers who are now there, they're going to be taking on that responsibility. But I have some ideas for this month of September to kickstart this next chapter. Again, I have to say it, stress this, especially for those of you listening to the recording, because you're not on this call. Instead of being on this call, you're listening to a recording. There's nothing that can replace team, nothing. That synergy has a magic to it that is from not this world. It's another world that understands when two or more are gathered, things can happen in an exponential way. And that's what's key about creating this group. Now, if you guys were to meet, let's just say as a, for instance, once a week, and that call was not about this exactly, although that would be a great call to have coaching and training, which I think should be a call. But let's just say you guys got together and you invited people who had just got their products or just been using their products, yourselves, and any new members of the team over the course of that week. You get them on this call and you start sharing your stories. And then you start talking like you guys have been talking, sharing your vision of the future. How do you think that's going to impact your guest or the person you just enrolled? I think that's going to get them mighty excited, because I think people will join a cause and a team more than they will join a business, more than they will join their own self-interest. People want to belong. That's one of the highest priorities. They want to belong to something. And you've got to create a presence that what you are is something, that this group, this team is something, that you're not an island, that you're a team. And that's going to help you accelerate the growth of your business exponentially. It's like building a campfire. If you take one log at a time and put it on the campfire, you might get a little bit of heat, but you know, it's just not going to create much of a fire. You won't be able to warm up too many people. But if you put all those dry logs together and you light that fire, that's going to create a huge fire that's going to be seen from far away, and it's going to create a huge amount of heat, and it's going to keep a lot of people warm. In other words, when you guys come together and you start being you and integrating Nikken and the concepts into your life and into your vocabulary, into your dialogue here, and then you start talking about some of the other things that we want to talk about, such as the law of attraction, you're going to be something people want to be around. You're going to be a campfire that people want to hear. Each of you are going to have a story. You're going to be telling your story. You're going to be telling your point of view. Who knows what will have happened that past week? Something that inspired you, something that changed your life. I know that's real because it happens all the time. I show my girls every time I get these text messages from somebody and said, read this. And they just hear and they see my life. They see what it's like to be me and get those messages from people that are so uplifting because there's been something I did or said that made a difference to them in their life. That's going to be you. So having a campfire that's warm and friendly and available and consistent. The key is consistency when it comes to compounding. So you guys know how linear income works. It's what you've been doing, trading time for money. If you want to know how compounding income works, you've got to make a commitment to this team, especially this team call. It will start to accelerate the growth of your business. You yourself will start to act differently. So just keep this in mind. This is a footnote and a headline simultaneously. This has to become a priority. We can't delay another week of this. So to give a little bit of spark and fire to this whole concept and make September really a good month, because it's one of the best months to launch your business. September, everybody's going back to, you know, back to school, back to work, back to everything, unless you live in Ontario, but then that's another story. So here's the deal. First of all, I want to congratulate Sophia my Sophia, who last month, if you recall, I ran an incentive. I said, hey, you guys sell some waterfalls, and I'm going to make the pot a little bit sweeter by doubling the Nikken Performance Commission. Just to give you an idea, if you sold 2 waterfalls, Nikken's Performance Commission is $37 US. If you sold 3 waterfalls, Nikken's Performance Commission is, in addition to your regular commission and your rebates, the Performance Commission is $111 US. So I said I'd double that up. So here you go. Sophia, my Sophia sold 3 waterfalls, and that's 276 US, that's 364 Canadian. So I will be wiring you $364 Canadian for last month's doing what you should be doing anyways. Well done, Sophia.
Thank you.
And the other Sophia with the
I think we decided
FIA,
that I am Sophia and she's Soph.
And she's Soph. And Soph, you sold 2 waterfalls. That's 147 US that I'm going to kick in. That's 194 Canadian, in addition to your Nikken commission and your Nikken Performance Commission. Congratulations to you. Guys, I like investing money in this business. I've invested money in a lot of businesses, and there is no business, not a single business, that has made me the return on investment that this business has made. So here's what I'm going to do for September. Oh, by the way, I also want to congratulate Sophia, Soph, who became executive this past month as well. She hit the first rank advancement executive. So congratulations to a new executive. That's 1,500 points in volume. And I know some of you are close. Did I miss anything? No, Tiana, you are at, okay, so here's the deal. Here's what's going to happen in September. Samantha, you've got 500 points on the scoreboard. Tiana, you've got 3,033 points on the scoreboard within those 2 months. Alicia, 1,262 points. Sophia, Soph, 1,603 points. Solan, 567 points. And there's a few others that have points, not as much, but these are the points that I'm looking on the scoreboard that are in shooting distance of what I'm going to offer. Here's what I'm going to offer. For those of you who have not yet hit those points, and you haven't done the the power start, what the power start is 1,500 points, half of which has to come from retail. And that's in your first 30 days from sign up. So most of you are in that qualification period right now. If you do the power start, 1,500 points, half of which 750 points come from retail sales, Nikken's going to give you 100 Nikken reward points. That means $100 US to spend in their shopping cart for whatever you want. They're going to give you recognition. You're going to set a pace, the pace that I want this team to be known for. This team has a path. It's power start, which automatically advances you to executive, and silver. So that's the 3-month trajectory or sooner. You guys are going to set that pace. You're going to have that expectation from every single person you enroll. If they don't meet that expectation, it's not going to be your fault, because you're going to show them the way, and you're going to show them what you did, and you're going to teach them, and you're going to work with them. But if they don't pull their weight, it's not your fault. But you are going to have the power. You're going to have the knowledge to make this happen as a regular thing. So here it is. Hit power start, finish your power start. Those of you who have already started, Nikken's going to give you 100 Nikken reward points. I'm going to give you $150 Canadian on top of it. Okay. I'll e-transfer you as soon as it's done. Just give me the heads up. And
so that's for people who are within that 30 days from sign up.
Right now, if you're within 30 days of sign up and you hit 1,500 points, which is half from retail, that's power start. You're going to get an extra 150 on top of Nikken's 100 Nikken reward points. And you will also advance and rank to executive, because executive is 1,500 points, however you achieve it. So you're going to have a bunch of wins here, guys, for just doing what you should be doing anyways. Okay. Now, what happens if you go beyond that? If you do 3,000 points, PGV, that's you, your customers, anybody you enroll in Nikken, do 3,000 points PGV this month, I'm going to give you $500 cash. Well, cash in the way of an e-transfer. $500, guys. If you do the math, you're going to realize how sweet this deal is, because I'm going to tell you what I actually earn on this. Okay. So, you know, I'm literally taking money out of my pocket to make this happen. Okay. So 3,000 points this month. That's however you achieve those 3,000 points, that's another $500 in your pocket, okay? And you can accumulate this. So if you hit Power Start, that's 150. Do 3,000, another 500. Do another 3,000 and rank advance to silver, another 500. Okay, that's over and above the commission Niken's going to pay you for having that done. How serious am I about breaking silvers? I'll tell you how serious I am. If you started today and you're listening to this call and you're just starting today, if you do the silver qualifications this month, okay, you're going to get $1,000. I earn on you doing that, I earn $252. That's my earnings on your 6,000 points, but I'm paying you $1,000. That's why I'm telling you, I'm taking money out of my pocket, because I want this group to get on fire, to create critical mass. Because once we hit critical mass, it's like doing this and the thing flies. Critical mass is the key. Until you hit critical mass, it's like, ugh, it's like pushing that car in the ditch out of the snow or whatever. It's just push and push and push. But once you get it out, it's like you could do this with your finger. That's critical mass. So how do we do that? We got to pull together and work together and create some activity this month like no tomorrow. And that's going to create some income for everybody. I hope income was one of your pillars. Now, I'm just going to recap. So Tiana, you're the one who's got the closest to this. You've got 3,033 points in 2 months. That means if you do 3,000 points this month and have at least 2 legs that do some volume, what does that mean in terms of a cash bonus to you?
Are you asking me like with your incentive, or is this like
Yeah,
what
with
I
my
would-
incentive, just my incentive. I don't know what other Niken commissions you'll earn, because it'll be based on what you do. But if you generate another 3,000 points and put 2 legs in place who do some volume, that's 3,000
would be
points, 2
enough.
legs in place, you go silver. What's your bonus
that
for
would be
me?
500.
No, it's twice. You do 500 for the 3,000, 500 for the silver. That's 1,000.
Okay.
That's like 33% on top,
generous.
right? So that's a huge commission for just doing what you should be doing anyways. So
Very
who else do we
generous.
got going here? Okay, Alicia, she's not on the call, but she's going to be listening to the playback. I know she's at work right now. She's in the hospital probably. She's at 1262. She needs 4,700 points to hit silver. So it could be really good if she does her 3,000 and hits 4,700 points, and she gets that bonus of 1,000. Sophia or Soph, you're at 1603. That means you're 4,397 away from silver, provided you put 2 legs in place. And what's that? That's $1,000. Okay. Solan, he's got 5,400 to go, but he's also in contention for Power Start, as is Alicia, as is, no, Sophia, I think you hit your Power Start. We already covered that. Yeah, so listen, there's a lot on the table. And those of you who are not yet on the scoreboard, this goes for you too. So hit Power Start, $125 or $150. Do 3,000, sponsor a few people, have some retail sales. I can tell you right now, the girls who did silver, the 3 girls, the lion's share of their volume came from retail sales. And the waterfall, a great way to do retail sales. So I'm just giving you the incentive. Now the work comes in, and of course we're ready to do the work. I'm ready to do the call. Sophia, all the girls are ready to help, because their job now is to help as silvers, to be there to do those calls with you. So let's get that started. There's trainings that they've done. If you don't know, call. Don't sit there by yourself trying to figure out what to do. Plug in, ask. Our goal is to help you get this business started. That's the hard part. It's pushing the car out of the ditch. That's the hard part. Once it's out of the ditch and moving, it's not hard at all. Ask Sophia, ask Elena, ask Savannah if they've learned something in the last 3 months about how to build a Niken business. All they need to do now is teach others to do it. So I told Sophia, because we had dinner together, said, the rest of your Niken career is going to be teaching people to do what you just did. If they just did what you did, She made $1,883 in 3 months. That was the 3 months previous. I don't know what we made this past month because we haven't seen the checks yet, but last 3 months when she went silver, 1,800 and whatever it was, learning how to do Nikken.
Yeah, the first like 1.5 months, I didn't even really like do anything. I was just like actually learning what to do before taking action. So
So
yeah.
I don't know if too many business and you purchase your investment in Nikken was an energy pack, about $1,000, I guess, $1,100. I can't remember what it was. So you're plus $700 or $800 return, which is almost 200%, at least 180%, 150% return on investment in 3 months while you're learning how to do a business. Now you're in a silver position, which means you max your earnings. You have the most potential to earn income in Nikken, whether you sell one thing, you sponsor somebody, you're at the position where you earn the maximum commissions. That's another reason why we want to help everybody become a silver factory, because people who make money stay around. And so learning how to become a silver is the job, and then teaching others how to do what you did is the career. And that's how you build a huge international business that pays you for life. I don't think that's too complicated considering what you guys have been through already up to now. If you really consider what you've had to put in terms of your time, your education, the cost of that to earn what you're earning now, and if you stop working, it stops, versus learning how to do a business in 3 months that can pay you for the rest of your life. I think that, that is a simple math, if you ask me. And then on top of that, if I start throwing some money your way to incentivize you even more to get off of your butts and really get into this, because I know, money talks. And I think it's important that everybody get really well compensated for this effort. So you guys are the first to do this. You're the crew to do this. That's why I'm putting the money in, because I think it's worth the investment. Now, it's entirely up to you whether you take my money. I have no problem with writing the check or sending you the e-transfer. So any questions about this incentive? Or these incentives, plural. So we've recorded it. We can send a text message out to recap so you know, and it's in writing, you know exactly what is on the table. And that way, I want you to just start thinking about knowing, for instance, Tiana is sort of halfway there already. Had you had last month to do over again? This is an important question. Had you had last month to do over again, would you have started quicker? Would you have jumped in sooner? Knowing that now there's this incentive, and had you had a running start last month, you'd be already ahead of the game to earn this incentive. So let that be a lesson, not just for you. Please let that be a lesson for the people you enroll, because trust me, you're going to experience the same thing when you enroll somebody in Nikken. They're going to say to you, well, what did you do? And they're going to do what you do, because that's the nature of the beast. We tend to duplicate our behavior. And so we want to be on our best behavior. We want to put our CEO hat on. We want to do what's best for our business, because what we do is what we teach. It's like children. Your kids, they say, are always watching you. The kids emulate the parents. They don't do what the parents say. They do what the parents do. And so that's how our business is. People will simply start to emulate you, even if you're unconscious of it. Why I encourage you to make the first decisions quickly. Don't hesitate. Don't waste time. Make the decisions. What are the decisions that have to be made? Time, money, and context. Those are the three things you bring to the table. Put them on the table. The hesitation to even invest, those things is a hesitation, which means you're not convinced, you're not sold. And that means you haven't set any objectives. You haven't set any goals. So that's why I asked you guys to set your goals, send them to me. Because if their goals are in writing and we get them to be real, then you're going to trust in me, trust in yourself and your ability to achieve that. And now you're going to have all the engine, all the fire in the belly to actually make it happen, all the fuel in the tank to make it happen. And I'm just giving you a little bit of a spark here to get the ignition, get that sequence started. Go ahead, Sophia.
So my question is this incentive going to apply to anyone in our business in this month, including new
Correct.
people that we're bringing into the business.
That's correct.
So we can tell people about this
If 10
incentive.
silvers come out of this month, $10,000 comes out of my pocket.
So everyone take note, because I would, if I were you, I mean, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start making contacts ASAP, because it's gonna be pretty easy to motivate someone to do Power Start, which is super achievable in a matter of days if you wanted to. That's $150 they know that they're getting. On top of that, you know, you get someone, you motivate them, say, hey, why don't you go for executive, just, or sorry, 3,000 points by the end of this month, also super achievable. You're gonna get paid $500 in your first month.
On top of what
Not
they actually are
even,
going
and
to earn.
not even a month, because, you know, today's day number 1, so they'll come through the process. Earliest will be like within this week. You know, they could make $500 by the end of the month if they apply themselves. You know, that's a really great motivation for to tell people to get them started. So
Is-
I would take advantage of it even from that perspective. And then their 500 points or 3,000 points, whatever they
Oh,
do,
there's
applies
one
to
more.
you.
So I forgot to mention one other one.
What? There's another incentive?
There's another incentive for the existing silvers, Sophia, Savannah, and Elena.
We're listening.
For every silver you break, meaning you help achieve silver, you earn $500.
All right.
Really?
Okay.
go.
So guys, do not let this September pass without you really making an effort. Okay. I can't promise this is going to be the way it's going to be in October. This is to kickstart this team, give this team a running start. Okay.
And this is PGPV. So this is on our group volume.
That's correct.
Just to clarify,
No, Sophia, you
somebody
break
who-
a silver anywhere in your downline, anywhere on your team.
Oh.
True, but I'm even saying, like, for everyone else, like,
Yes.
their 3,000 points or 6,000 points, it's coming from their 3,000 points coming from their whole group, not necessarily just their retail sales.
Yes,
Mhm.
that's right. Yes.
Yes.
Silver is PG. Silver is
Right,
your
so
group. That's
guys, that
anybody
means,
you
guys, if
enroll
you
in
bring someone
and
onto
their
your
customers.
team, if you bring someone onto your team and you help them do the 3,000, then they're gonna get paid the 500.
Correct.
And you're gonna get paid the 500,
That's correct.
you know, just from helping them do it.
To clarify, people that achieve Power Star get the 150, but let's say they achieve Power Star, they don't achieve silver, but they achieve 3,000 points.
They get
They also
500 on top
on
of the,
top.
yeah.
On
Yeah.
top of the 150.
And in mind, guys.
So I would just like to mention or just kind of state here then moving forward, because obviously there's a lot of numbers. I'm hoping everyone's kind of writing this down and letting this integrate so they have an understanding. But we've been saying, you know, if you achieve silver, if you achieve Power Start, some of you still don't know what that looks like. So the next step is to contact, whether it's me, Sophia and Savannah, and you ask the question, how do I go?
How do I
silver?
do that?
How do
Yeah.
I go Power Start?
Yeah.
And that's care of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is your responsibility.
Yeah.
Okay. So all we can do is, you know, they say all you can do is lead the horse to water. You can't make them drink, but you can salt their oats. So hopefully there's enough here that gives the impetus for you to do the due diligence, to investigate this to whatever degree you need to understand it to whatever degree you need to, because I don't know who's offering this kind of money to you to get a business going and to provide you with a future that has a really clear path, and to do it as a team with a vision to make a difference in the world in a meaningful way. I think everything that you guys have going for you, this could be the most exciting adventure in the history of this company. And I would love to be the architect of it. That would be the gift I give myself and Niken, is to have been the contributor to helping this thing happen. And we haven't even talked about the game plan for social media. That's a whole other ball of wax. I'm just saying we have a simple way to get things rolling. Let's apply the basics to get things rolling, and then we can start getting fancy. Any questions?
How do I hit Power Start?
Okay, well, you right now specifically, okay, I don't see your, I do have your volume on my other screen. Hang on. So you.
Right. Super
do I have it?
doable.
So right now, Tiana, or not Tiana, Rachel, you just started with just a few items just to get for yourself. So remember we talked about, let's see, let's use, if I may, Tiana, can I use you as an example? So Tiana purchased a water pack for herself, and that was 500 points. So there's 500 points added to your 69 points. Then she had me on a call with her parents the next day, literally. And then by the end of the weekend, which was 2 days, I guess, 3 days after that, they had purchased the sleep system, the Mag Flex, the insoles, I think, one or two other things. The Mag Duo, odds and ends, but all told, that was about 1,800 points or something like that. So combine that, and she was over the 1,500 points, and she was Power Start executive in like 2 days, 3 days.
I
So that
think
was one
so.
example.
This might be a stupid question, but are points equivalent to the dollar of the product?
Almost.
Okay.
If it's sold at retail, there is a retail point value, which is the US dollar
Mhm.
value of the product at retail. If it's purchased by a consultant on your team or you, then it's the wholesale point value. That's why
Mhm.
there's two numbers, and that is an incentive to sell retail, because you get even more points when you sell retail. So Niken
Mhm.
likes to have a viable retail business because it's low-hanging fruit. It's immediate cash for people. It's a great way to get started. So it's an engine that we want to fund and fuel. So does that answer your question, how points are?
Yes.
And if you go to the price list, by the way, you'll see in the price list, you go to the consultant price list, and where you find that is in your back office, in your virtual office. Go to myniken.com, log in, click on, I think it's products, click on, not my business, ordering, click on ordering, and then click on price list. There's different ways to get to price list, but click on price list and then choose consultant price list, and that'll give you all of the numbers, the item code of something, the description of it, the point value,
Okay.
the at retail, the point value at wholesale, the retail price, the wholesale price, all the numbers that are associated with the thing. And you can see what the point value of anything is when you're.
Rachel, give me a
Yeah.
call and I can go through the website with you.
Okay.
And so you know where to find everything, and we'll go through all of that together.
Okay.
I
Can
just want
you call
speak,
after this?
Yeah, I just wanted to speak though on what you were
If you
asking.
want, by the way, what I can also do is I'll drum up the price list right now, and I'll put it on the chat. So you guys have quick access to the price list. I'll put it on the tools and I'll put it on the chat. It changes now and then when they add a new item or whatever, but
Mhm.
at least you'll have the current one. You can just quick reference.
I also just wanted to say, additionally to how you can get Power Start, it's really, really doable. And honestly, Rachel, it's even doable to get executive in the same month.
Well,
Like-
it is the one and the same, Savannah.
Power
Like-
Start takes you to executive.
Sorry, I meant 3,000 points.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, if you're at,
At
if
it-
you're,
like, if I were you, I would be striving for that. I would be
I would
striving
be
for
targeting
Power
that as
Start.
well.
and that extra 3,000 points, because 3,000 points is doable, and that gets you into a good start to get silver in the next month.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
If not, hey, listen, she could have a quick start. I've had people break silver in like 8 hours.
I think-
It's just who you're talking to and how much they want to make something happen. And if they're connected enough that they can make a phone call or two, and the next thing you know, people are saying, I had this yesterday. Sophia was right there with me. A friend of mine who called, we just called the chit chat. We haven't talked to him forever. And, you know, I don't know how he was. I was updating him on Niken, whatever. And I said, the water. And oh yeah, by the way, what water are you drinking? I asked him that question. He says, oh, I got one of those Kangen things. Oh, I said, okay, well, okay. At least you know enough to get some decent water, but it is not natural, right? You know that it's hydrolysis and it's not the way nature makes water. He says, well, what do you guys got? And then I told him the waterfall in about 3 minutes. And he says, sold. Just like that. I called my friend just to talk to my friend, just to catch up. Next thing I know, he said, sold. Then you know what else he asked me? What's the other must have? I said, the sleep system. He said, send me something on it. And now he's evaluating the sleep system. He bought the waterfall and is evaluating the sleep system. I wasn't even expecting that. So you can make things happen quickly. You can make things happen slowly. It's entirely up to what's going on up here.
I want to address again back to the two things you asked. How do you get Power Start? And I just want to say these two things. First, make decisions quickly, because that sets an energetic frequency and it also tells people how you want them to act. So make decisions quickly and ask for help. Don't, like, as my dad was saying, don't just sit there. Ask for help. Ask as many questions as you want. Be blowing up our phones. Like, do that, because that's how you, number one, that's how we see that, like, you really want it. And also, that's how you'll get momentum. That's how you'll get the information to achieve it. Just, and like there's somebody you don't know how to say to them because you don't feel confident yet. I need to
So
talk to this.
that's what I
Call
got
me.
for the first 2 months.
Yeah.
Every 5 minutes. How do you say this? How do you say this to this? What do you do with this? They send me a picture of the text message they got. How would you respond to this? So it's a lot of that. It's learning how to navigate this.
Yeah. Learning how to speak to people. And like that, like, you can ask questions. My dad literally has gone through so many of my messages to help me with how to respond to somebody. So you have access to that. Just ask for it. Yeah.
I think one of the most important pieces of advice I could give to anyone is you have to think about your goal every day. First thing in the morning when you wake up and last thing before you go to sleep. Get yourself a journal and start writing it down every night before you go to bed and every morning when you wake up, because you'll forget about it if you don't make a conscious effort to think about it. And then next thing you know, oh my God, a week's gone by, I haven't done anything. You have to commit. You have to make a decision. This is done, and stay committed. Make that same decision every day. It's done. It's done. It's done. That's the first thing I do every time I set a goal is I start writing it down. Write it down like 3 times every night in the present tense. I'm so happy and grateful now that, and right when you wake up, I'm so happy and grateful now that. It takes 5 minutes and it makes the world of a difference, because you have to train your mind to think about that. When you're thinking about it, you're going to be looking for opportunities throughout your day of how you can make it happen. And you're going to make it a priority to actually take action on it.
Guys, this is a technology she's describing to you. And I can tell you, all of the top people in the world, in the history of the world, who taught the law of attraction have taught this. In the book, if you read Think and Grow Rich, in the entire book, there's a secret. That's where the title, The Secret, came from. Because Bob Proctor used to always talk about that. Earl Nightingale used to talk about that. In the book, Think and Grow Rich, there's a secret. And if you can find the secret, you can have anything you want. Guess what the secret is? You just heard it. So, not magic, not really a secret after all, but real. Guys, I have to jump off in 2 minutes. Nikan's doing their kickoff call, and I just want to leave you with this. You guys can carry on. Here's what's going on. They're about to announce the specials for what's going on for the month of September. And Nikan's got a product special. I just saw it before I got on the call. Looks like they're going to sell the Nikan air purifier with a free replacement cartridge, a HEPA filter, which is like 150 or 170 bucks.
So
yeah,
that's going to be the incentive for September?
For September. So couple
That's
that with
good,
what
guys.
we got going on. Now
That's
you
money.
have something else to tell people about. And that system, who here has anybody here experienced it yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love
Ellen,
it.
your dad is crazy about the system, but
Yeah.
what's your experience about it?
So I actually have it in my room now. I've had it for the last 4 months, I would say. And number one, I noticed the difference when I leave. Whenever I'm sleeping somewhere else, I'm not sleeping as well, and I noticed it immediately. But it's very interesting because I had an experience a couple days ago where I was in the room and I noticed the system in action because it'll start to pick up speed when the light or the sensor goes red. It means that there's some sort of air pollutant that it's trying to clear out. So it'll pick up speed. I was burning incense in my room one day. And sometimes it even happens when I just walk by after being out of the house for a while. But I was burning incense, and within a few minutes, a minute of burning the incense, it started to turn on, pick up speed, and start to clear out and work to clear out the air essentially. And the minute the incense stopped burning was when it started to calm down. So I got a cool video and clip of the system working in action. But in terms of how I've experienced it for myself, I noticed immediately the difference when I'm outside of my room, sleeping anywhere else. So I've been loving it. And I've been actually approaching people on the air purifier as opposed to the waterfall system. So now knowing that, because there's a lot of points, it's one of the higher ticket items, especially. So in terms of points for the month, it's another great system to target aside from the waterfall. So knowing that's the incentive is going to be incredible.
Yeah,
That's
Totally.
Sophia,
it.
you've had yours in your room, and man, what a difference. That room.
totally. I like walk in the room and like it smells like fresh air. And
Yeah.
I had the same experience as Elena where I like lit a candle and within like seconds, and the candle was lit in the bathroom with
Yeah.
the door open. Like it was far away from the actual purifier.
Yeah.
And it starts ramping up, and starts turning red, and like I hear it go on. And I was just shocked that it was able to like pick it up that far away and that fast. But what I love is that it's quiet. Like besides
Yeah.
when it like picks something up, it's completely silent. Whereas other air purifiers are so damn loud. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy. And for the quality that you get, like I know someone who has like a serious breathing problem. He has like asthma or something. And he has an air purifier that he can't like sleep without. And it's so loud. And knowing that we have this now, I'm like, I need to like put him onto this because it would make such a difference for him.
Okay, guys, I got to jump off. By the way, if you happen to jump on the call, there's probably going to be a bunch of recognition for some of you guys. So anyway, I'm going to jump off the call. Carry on if you wish. Solon, you missed a bit. Your name came up. You're in the running for these incentives.
He's almost
so
at Power Star.
make sure you listen to this playback, buddy, because there's information here for you. Okay.
All right, I will. Thank you.
All right. See you guys.
We gotta go.
Thanks for being
Bye.
on the call.
Yeah, we don't have to
Bye.
make this call any longer. I just want to open up the floor for anyone who has questions, who wants to just shoot them at me while we're on here. Like I'm ready to stay and
I
talk
do
to you
have
guys.
one question.
Yeah.
So I see that you guys put the points here per so let's say it's 1500 for Power Start, and then it goes up. So for the 1500 points, is there like a minimum for personal and then for I guess the group value, or
No,
okay, so that's
can be you, it can be someone on your team, doesn't matter.
okay.
But for the Power Start, at least half has to come from retail sales.
Okay.
So half of it can be you purchasing at wholesale, someone on your team purchasing at wholesale. The other half has to be a retail sale.
Okay.
A question.
Yeah.
I can't achieve Power Start because it's been more than 3 months, I think.
Right.
So does the 3,000 points, if I can achieve that, does that count still or no? Is that
Yes. So
achievable?
yeah, Power Start's actually first 30 days. So yeah, you wouldn't qualify
Oh,
for that
great.
150, but 3,000 points this month, you would qualify for 500.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be
Yeah.
like a
You can do
cumulative-
any of the other ones, just not the Power Start one.
Okay. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I was gonna ask, because of the incentive for this month with the air purifier, could there be some sort of, I found that with the script for the waterfall, it made me more confident in talking to people about the waterfall. Could there be some sort of script for the air purifier?
Totally.
Yeah,
I'll do that tomorrow. I'll work
Yeah.
on that for you guys.
I think the script, so I don't know if you've edited it yet, but the script for reaching out to somebody and sending them the Sovereign Life link, that needs an update. So just to make it a little more like free flowing and
Yeah.
less scripted. And we've discussed it on our own, but I think
Yeah.
we should have like something on that, maybe even a video.
I think anyone who wants practice with how to actually contact someone and invite them to learn more about this, please set up a call with me. I'm available all the time and we'll walk through it together because I think I've gotten pretty comfortable with that process and I can help you.
Yeah. Any of us ultimately.
Yeah.
You know how you guys put on your stories, like if you want to learn more, like DM us type thing or like whatever. Do
Yeah.
people actually respond to that?
Yes.
Yeah, people do.
They do.
Yeah.
One time I even put it like in the corner, super, super small, just in case someone just picked up on it. And someone did pick up on it and they DM me.
Yeah. I mean, it
Are they
depends what it is,
serious
whether it's a
about it?
poll or whether it's
Yeah,
like
they-
a thing.
They didn't end up joining, but they did go through the process. They did
Yeah.
had an ABC. I think though.
Well,
I would-
most of the people who are on this call who have joined as part of my team has been through a social media contact.
I
With
think
Tiffany was through that, with Samantha was through that, with Sophia was through that.
Like I just set up the waterfall, like I told you, and I was like about to take a picture of it and post it. But I'm like, if people do answer, I know you guys have the script, but I don't know what to say if they ask about it in a more casual way because I don't want to come off scripty on Instagram. You know what I mean?
Right. So you can be creative with the way that you post about it. It's more, the script is there so that you have the answers to any questions that are thrown at you. But then
Right.
again, when you invite people to message you on Instagram, text me what they say and I'll tell you what to respond because you learn as you go, like how certain wording might turn some people off and how certain wording might like motivate people or educate people in a better way. So just with the conversations, don't get overwhelmed. Don't feel like you're on your own. Like you have someone who is in your corner who will help you navigate that.
Okay. Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, the script is there just so that like you can answer questions. Like if somebody throws something at you, you have like a resource you can go to and be like, oh, well, here's the answer to that question. Here's all the information on it. And Tiffany, I actually need to get your email so I can add you to our Google Drive because we put a lot of our resources on there.
Okay, I'll send it to you right now.
Yeah, send that to me on text and I'll add you to our drive. And Deborah and Kat, you guys aren't on it either. Everyone else I think is on it.
This might sound like a little bit of a stupid question, but I know some things I've looked at are made in the US. Do we know if all vegan products where they're made and produced or?
We can find that out. Yeah, all the products have that like on the tag.
Yeah.
So I can,
Like books, but I wanted to know if the majority were like.
oh, they're all over the place. Some
Okay.
come from Japan, some come from Korea, some come from Mexico. Like it's actually
Okay.
a fully international company.
Okay,
Different stuff
got it.
come from everywhere. Yeah.
All right.
Any other questions? Even on like just like mindset, motivation, goal achievement.
I mean, for anybody who had reservations about if they can fit this in their lives or the cracks of their life, this is where we are right now, having this call. And I could very much be calling.
And they
people
went
right now.
silver in the last week, in the last
While
few
I was
days,
away.
while they were here.
So, I mean, it looks like Hawaii here. And it's really doable to do it anywhere. So there's no excuse in that matter. And you'll get that a lot when people speak to you. You'll probably get like, oh, well, I don't know if I have time for this. It's getting them to have that ABC call where they can become aware that they really do have time for this, because it's not something that you need a lot of time for. You just need to decide to fit an hour in your day, at least.
Honestly, though, something that I had in my head from when we started everything, it's one of the tips that they give to the people in Latin America. And in Latin America, they've grown like a really amazing community and network and a lot of thriving businesses. Muchos personas rápidos, which means a lot of people quickly. That is like your best friend in Nikken. You have to talk to a lot of people in a shorter period of time. Just have the conversations, get out of your comfort zone, because yeah, you're going to have people say no. This is the whole thing with the rule of thirds, you know, for every 3 people you talk to, 1 person will say yes. 1 person might say yes to learning more. 1 person might say yes to, you know, purchasing a product. So you have to be willing to talk to a lot of people and hear a lot of no's, but the faster you get through the no's, the better, the easier you get to the yeses. You know, my dad has this really great analogy where he talks about a card deck and how you know that there's 4 aces in the deck, right? And so he sits there and he starts like flipping over the cards. And he's like, oh, well, look at this one. Nope, not an ace. We're going to keep going. Oh, look at this one. Not an ace. Look at, oh, no, not an ace. Oh, no, it's a jack. It's not an ace. Oh, no, that one's a 2. It's not an ace. Oh, it's a 3 now. Not an ace, right? Like how many of you are ready to give up? You're like, oh, this is getting annoying now. But you know the aces are in the deck, right? You just have to keep flipping the cards and you're going to find the aces. So be willing to talk to a lot of people, be willing to have those conversations. You're going to get better at it the more you do. And the more people you have coming into this funnel and learning about what it is that you're doing, the more these things are going to happen. Like, even when I went silver, like a lot of going silver happened in the last week leading up to, you know, the end of the month, but it was all because of work that I had done throughout the beginning of that month, you know, from having these conversations with people and starting to educate people about the products, then following up with them later and stuff, you know, like people may not buy right there on the spot right away, but it might happen the next week or the week after. So you have to like be willing to put a lot of people through your funnel, and then you will reap the harvest of that like at the end. So that's the advice that I would give, is like, just be willing to do it, you know, be willing to get a little uncomfortable.
All right. That being said, I think this is a good call.
And we
I
can
don't
all
know
keep
if
each other motivated in our chat as well. We can like,
I'm motivated after those incentives.
I know, geez, I got to set a goal for myself. Like I'm going to sit here and say like, okay, how much money do I want to make? This is just going to be additional incentives. This isn't even going to be including like what we're going to get paid from Nikken. Just with the incentives that I have here, I'm going to be thinking about, okay, with what's on the table, how much do I want to make? And you guys should be thinking about this too, because you could even break some silvers yourself and get that another additional 500. So I'm going to think about that, set that.
Just because you're not silver, well, you could be silver, but you could also break a silver before you're even silver.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. So set that goal and then start writing it down and start thinking about how it's going to feel to achieve that and what you're going to do with that money. I already know what I'm going to do with it.
Thank you for showing up today, guys. Thank you for
Yeah,
being
thanks for showing up. It was awesome to see everyone.
and meet people that I haven't met yet. Hi,
Mhm.
Tiffany.
Yeah.
Tiffany.
Oh yeah, Tiffany and Ellen, you guys know each other.
I know. I was like, hey, girl.
Tiffany. So many new faces.
Hi.
Deborah.
Yeah.
Oh, Salon. Hello. Haven't
I
met
actually,
anyone.
just while we're here, I want to just get some feedback real quick on what days work best for you guys for calls, because we want to make sure we obviously have our team call on a day that like works for people.
Today works for me.
Same.
Okay.
I actually
Yeah.
switched my
I
shift
think-
today, but I'm free Fridays. So
Okay.
to make the call. Yeah.
Yeah, and like sometimes my schedules, like they never really tell me, like it's weekly, and
Yeah,
I don't
same.
like give them my availability. They kind of just book me whenever, but the past 3 weeks I've had Wednesdays off. So I feel like that's like my new kind of schedule.
Yeah, we'll probably have more than one throughout the week, starting this month. One will the Wednesday one will probably stay as like a team call. But we'll probably have training calls and possibly Saturday mornings. That's what we've been talking about, even though I know it's a weekend, but at least it's there. It will be recorded for anyone to watch after the fact. I feel like that's a day that most people aren't working on a Saturday morning. If anyone is right now, Tiffany, are you working Saturday mornings? Jeez, your schedule's
Yeah.
rough.
I know. Sorry.
So, but Fridays you don't work.
Yeah, no, but I start part-time next week. So
True.
I'm full-time right now. But I go back to school soon. So I am switched to part-time, and I'm sure my mornings will be free by next week. So
Will you be working Wednesday nights when you're part-time?
no, I'll only be working Tuesday evenings.
Okay, so we could keep
And
the
then
Wednesday
weekends.
night ones.
Yeah.
And then the weekends, okay.
Yeah.
We might also do a Monday night call. I'm thinking about doing like a mindset call on Mondays.
Monday nights I'm also free.
I was gonna say, I think Monday, like nighttime is a good way to do it, because then like you have the rest of the day to do the rest of your stuff. And then
Mhm.
evenings, generally you can like work stuff around it,
True.
And then for me, I think Wednesdays will stay free depending on my school schedule, which I'll have to double check with.
Okay,
But I think
sounds
Wednesdays
good.
are good.
Yeah, I think
Everything's
Wednesday.
okay for me,
Yes.
just not.
Sorry, Soph?
Everything's okay for me, just not Saturdays. I work Saturday morning.
Okay, noted.
Yeah, I was gonna
Noted.
say I'm good. I can make any day work except Saturdays. Like Saturday, the whole day is clapped, but I'll look at the recording definitely.
Are you and Siva going to be working as a team?
Yeah, it'll be a team thing.
Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool.
I'm sorry to interrupt you guys, but we gotta get going now.
Yeah. All
Yeah, I'm
right,
gonna-
guys, everyone have a beautiful evening. Take some time tonight. Think about your goals, write them down. It's so crucial. Writing them down starts to rewire your subconscious, and it's the first step in bringing that goal into physical manifestation. We'll keep in touch. We'll be talking in the chat tomorrow, I'm sure. Start to engage more in there. Let's really get this team feeling happening, because it's one thing trying to do something yourself, but when you have someone doing it with you, it makes it so much easier. And that goes for anything in life, whether it's going after a goal, breaking an addiction, trying to develop a new skill, whatever it might be. When you have someone doing it with you, it makes your life 10 times easier. So let's really help each other out, and work together and motivate each other this month. September, Virgo season, baby. Let's get to work. All right, guys, have a great night.
Bye, guys.
Have a good
Bye
night.
guys, so nice to meet
Bye.
you all.